Hey folks, High Lord Tamerlane again, today with another obscurity in miniature, but I don't know if it's really fair to call this an obscurity in miniature. This is probably the least obscurity in miniature I've got laying around. But for some reason, I could not control myself. I have very low willpower, obviously, if you've noticed how much garbage I seem to ever put on this page, but I now have Marneus Calgar. I was going to say Margius, but that's not right because I don't know how to read. Anyway, we've got the Ultramarines Chapter Master all nice and Primaris after crossing the Rubicon with his not one but two buddies with shields and swords. Now I'm going to flip it over because I'm sure nobody else has done that yet on any video whatsoever because I don't ever watch anything. But he does have his fancy Victrix Honor Guard, which honestly was probably the reason I bought this set. I think they look really fancy. And the irony is I got rid of all my Ultramarines that I ever painted, so I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with these guys, but I'm going to enjoy painting them and building them nonetheless. I don't have any bog standard Space Marines these days except for a random Japanese Space Marine hero that came out of a blind box, so I guess he'll have some company in terms of ultra fancy pants Marine Chapter Masters. So let's dump the box out and see what's in there, huh? Behold, this is what's inside the box. Instructions. Sprue number 1, which looks like it's just the Victrix Honor Guard. Base inside of a base. 40 millimeters for the guard, 54 Marneus. And then Marneus himself is made up of a whole bunch of pieces, at least 27 it looks like, if I can count that high. But then again, that might be including some of the parts from his Honor Guard friends and the typical, usual Ultramarine decals. It would have been funny if it gave him a generic Space Marine one. So, it's nice to see that he's made out of quite a few pieces. I don't like it when I get a hero figure that's, 4 pieces and I'm done. I am a big fan of lots of minuscule fiddly bits to glue all over. As you've noticed, I'm a big Malifaux fan, at least of building the models. So, it doesn't look like Marneus has individual fingers I have to glue other than on his power glove there. But very nice, crisp details. Oh, I guess I missed that. There was a little tiny Aquila right there. There we go. I got my tiny little fiddly bit to deal with. We'll look at him later. So then we have our sprue of our Honor Guard. Thankfully, they are not exactly the same figure. I was really concerned about that it was just going to be, but it looks like they may be a copy-paste job. Almost like a mirror image, if you notice. He's got like the cord going across. He's got the cord going across too. But I don't think that's the biggest issue. Hey, more lighting. There we go. Now, it looks like I have 2 head options. Let's take a look here. We've got the helmet. Oh, okay. That is a helmet, isn't it? Isn't it? Yes, it is. Okay. We've got the fancy eagle-faced one, a generic commander head. Well, he's not technically commander, and it looks like he's got the iron laurels there on his helmet right here as well. I don't think any of these pieces are actually meant for Marneus. Is Marneus' head on here? Do you guys see it? It's like a Where's Waldo game. Okay, I take everything I said back. Those are actually Marneus' heads. He's got both the helmeted and unhelmeted option. Okay, so I don't know what I'm talking about, but then again, what else is new? You know what? Without further ado, why don't I go grab some clippers and start globbing glue on these guys and see how they turn out. Let's see, shall we? Alright, so I actually started with the Victrix Honor Guard here, and I figure everybody else is gonna, guff and guffaw over Marneus Calgar anyways. I wanted to look at these dudes. So, interesting thing was I noticed that on the sprue they were labeled both A and B. I don't remember which is which. Very simple construction. We had the front of the body, which attaches to the cape backside. There is a separate leg piece for each of them, and then you just have the arms with the rest of the cape, and then the head and the backpack. That's it. That's all there is to them. Not the most complicated build, but I do find it interesting that one is A, one is B, and I'm wondering if maybe we'll see them released as an independent model later on, but that would be weird because there are pieces for Marneus on there, most notably his hands, and I want to say the back of his backpack, but we'll look at Marneus in a sec. So how do these guys stack up to the average Primaris? Because I think these guys are supposed to be Primaris sized. Well, they do seem to stack up pretty well. I just have a random intercessor here. He's supposed to be a Space Wolf, but ignore that. Let's see, we have our token generic Space Marine here, yeah. Substantially smaller. Sadly, he's feeling inadequate these days with his blinged out buddies there. So yeah, there is a bit of a discrepancy. Notably though, our hero models are still quite a bit bigger. My apothecary and a librarian painted up there, but they do seem a little bit larger, but these guys are still, I guess, just bog standard Marines, just with fancier armor. You guys get out of the way. Goodbye. And let's bring out the big dude. Here is Mr. Marneus. Now, I have not finished attaching him to anything because I'm going to paint him. Interestingly enough, at first I thought he was actually supposed to be stepping on the Tyranid head. Nope. He actually is just balancing on his cool tactical rock there. So naturally, I'm going to go with his helmeted head because I hate painting faces and I'm not very good at it, so that way I don't have to worry about that. I do love that this sculpt is a throwback to the original model that I remember looking at fondly ever so long ago. I think I was in junior high when the original one came out, maybe 7th grade. But I never got it. He just was out of my price range. Naturally, we have our bolters attached to his gauntlets. Those are going to need to get drilled out. I had a bit of a challenge with his ammo feeds going into his gauntlet and backpack. You can ignore the big old sprue scars there. I'm going to get him cleaned up before I prime him. This hand here in particular, his right hand, I had a hard time matching and lining it up. But thankfully, I used some pretty slow drying glue and was able to fudge that up. So, I noticed in the instruction manual it said he is wearing Hercules or Heracles armor or something like that. Because at first I thought he was probably wearing Gravis armor. And grab a Gravis model I had. I mean, they're close in size, but obviously Calgar's got a lot more blinged out version. Actually, I think the Gravis is a little bit smaller than him, but again, he's got the giant power fist. He's got his, super blingy backpack there. He's got his tactical rock. Very cool figure. I'm happy I got him. I have a really bad habit of picking up Marine heroes to chapters that I'm not collecting, because I don't collect Space Marines for the most part, even though there's one, and a grip of others, and more over there. Yeah, no, we do have a couple. I do like collecting the heroes, though, and I do have a bad habit of picking up blinged out versions, so he'll fit in nice with my Lord Executioner, who needs to get those purity seals a little bit more inscribed there, but that's a whole different story. So overall, for the price point, I mean, sure, you can go pick them up from GW online and pay full price. Or, you know, if you know your local game shop offers any kind of discount or there's any kind of special on eBay, which is always my favorite go-to way, is if eBay wants to give me bucks back or 10% off or whatever, especially around the holiday time, I will most certainly take advantage of it. So we got him for a nice little chunk off. And hopefully we will get to painting him soon. This has been kind of long-winded for me, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Hopefully this has been somewhat informative and not the same as everybody else. And I'll shut up now and see you all later. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.